In today's video, I'm going to show you how to run an optiplex motherboard off of a normal power supply. So, you know how it is. Your dad just upgraded his PC to an i7 to play solitaire, of all things. And you're left with an i5-6500. But you're broke as hell. But don't worry, eBay's at your side. And while looking through eBay listings, you find many older motherboards from Dell optiplexes and such for about £10. So you order one and it arrives. So you got an awesome case, power supply, some RAM, and some spinning rust for your boot drive. So you go to put everything together until you realise, what the hell are all these connectors on this motherboard? So, in today's video, we will show you how to run your crappy motherboard off a standard ATX power supply. First thing you'll notice is two standard looking connectors, but don't go jamming in your PSU cables in these sockets, because these aren't all standard. The 4-pin is the same, you can just plug that straight in, but the 6-pin to Dell's infinite wisdom is reversed and has additional connectors despite being able to fit in a standard connector. Today we're only covering an Optiplex 3050, but many recent Optiplexes use the same two connectors. The motherboard is a 12 volt only. You can use any 12 volt power supply as long as it can supply enough power. If you want to go the cheaper route, we recommend a server power supply, as they can be obtained on the used market from places like eBay and even Facebook Marketplace, all for very cheap. To convert a 24-pin power supply, we're going to need 2 yellow cables, 3 black cables, and the green and grey cables. If you can get a Molex extractor tool, which can be used to remove the individual pins and insert them in different ones. This is the method I used, but if you want an easier method, you can go use wago connectors, which are very easy to use. Here's the pin out we're going to use. First step is to connect the green wire to the one black cable to keep the power supply on. Then we just remove all other pins and start inserting them into a standard 6-pin GPU following the schematic. Now your power supply should always be running and your computer should start up when you press the power button. If not, join our Discord and we might be able to help. If you decided to use a power supply that can only supply 12 volts, then you can use a simple LM7805 voltage regulator or any 5 volt voltage not from the motherboard itself to stimulate power. If you also want to power drives, you can also use the black smaller header on the motherboard. I do have some cables, but they are hard to find, so just desolder the connector and solder wires in on this connector. There is 12 volt, 5 volt, and 3.3 volt for the drives inside the system. I found you can pull about 3 amps from each of these rails, so that's plenty for 2 hard drives and an SSD if you want to build a basic NAS. If you would like your PC to start up like a normal desktop, you will have to find a power supply with standby 12 rail, as these motherboards need standby 12. Normally you could just connect this to any other 12 volt and have your power supply always running, but if you don't want this, you will need a power supply with always on 12 volt rail. On a standard ATX power supply, there is only 5 volt stand by rail, so you can either use a cheap boost connector or find a server power supply with a standby 12 volt rail. I'll link some good ones in the description. Now you might be expecting all this just to blow up completely, but I have been running several old Optiplex motherboards for various purposes, and they've all worked for many months and are still working well. You may also have some problems mounting the board. We have acquired a few cases and drilled holes in the right place for standard motherboard standoffs. If this vid gets 50 likes, we will soon make another video like this on how to use even cheaper motherboards from HP. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.